This is InDesign, Chapter 4, Stage 1. This particular lesson is all about working with master pages and setting up text and working with paragraph styles. The purpose of setting up master pages and styles is for consistency. You'll be working with the museum files, and in InDesign you will start File, New Document. Working in print, we will be working with letter half. Change your units to inches. Make sure you're working in portrait mode. Facing pages. Number of pages can be left at 1. We will add pages as we work. Number of columns is 2. Gutter is 1/4 of an inch. Margins are 1/2 an inch constrained. Bleed is 1/8 of an inch constrained. We want a primary text frame to be added and then create the file. If you do not have your rulers visible, go to View and Show Rulers. Save your file as Exhibits. Now open the Covers file. You can update the links in this dialog box, or after you've opened the file you can go into links and relink those files. There are 2 pages in this layout, the front page and the back page. You could copy the page contents from this file to your main file, but it is best to work with master pages. Once you develop a master page, you can import those layouts into other files, and you can apply the layouts to specific layout pages as needed. It's very easy to create a master page layout from a regular page layout. We have an A master currently that is simply interior pages. In order to create the master page, we're simply going to grab the first page and drag it up into the Pages panel to create a B master that we're going to rename Front Cover. Then grab page number 2 and drag that up, and we'll go into Master Page Options and rename that Back Cover. We don't need the A master page, so we're going to right click that and delete. Make sure you delete and don't hit duplicate, which will eliminate that. We will have our front cover and our back cover, and we will save that file as Cover Master, and I already have one built. I'm going to resave over that, and I'm going to close that file. This makes it very easy for us in our Exhibits file to go to our Pages panel, to the options, Master Pages, Load Master Pages, and select Covers Master, and this will automatically load the front cover and the back cover. I can then go in and drag a copy of the front cover, which will apply that to the first page, and a copy of the back cover. I'm just going to pull this down into the Pages area and drop it, which will automatically build me another page. So I didn't have to go in and add pages. I simply went in and pulled it down to create that page. When I load a master page in, all of my preferences and all of my extras will load as well. So if I go in here, you can see that I have a specialty color that's added, and if I go to my paragraph styles, I have paragraph styles that were built in that file that are now carried through to the blank file we created. We need to make sure that we're going to see the panels, that everything comes up grabbable, editable. Let's go into View Extras and make sure that your frame edges are showing. If it says hide frame edges, just click off to the side. We're going to add another page in. So just click on the left hand side of the A master and drag that in next to the back cover. And you'll see a line pop up in the Pages panel. When that comes in, that's going to allow you to place that page on the correct section, and we're going to add a page. It automatically, because we were using the left page, we loaded that on the left side, and our master page shifted over to become page 3. We're going to need to go in and add more pages. We're also going to need to make some adjustments to our master page layout. So we'll double click the A master to bring that up where we can work on that. When we set up the document, we set this up as having 2 columns. We also included a text frame in there. So our text frame is going to flow to the 2 columns and it matches the layout. If you double click on any page in the page panel, it's going to bring that page up and that spread up for you. So if I select the front cover, I can pop to that. Now I'm working on the master page here. If I select it down here, I'm working on the layout page. I'm going to double click the name of the A master page, which is going to bring up the spread for me. If I were to double click the page, it will center just the page. We are going to make some adjustments to this, so I only want the left page selected at this time. So not the whole spread, but just the page. And I'm going to go to Layout, Margins and Columns so I can make an adjustment to my layout. Make sure that the preview is checked so you can see the changes as you're making them. And make sure that you unlink the margins. Make sure the Adjust Layout is deselected at this point. And we're going to change the margin for the bottom to 3.5 inches. And I'm going to tab so you can see the change. Then I'm going to select OK to apply that change. Now you can see here that my text box did not shift. I'm going to change the height of the text box using the gap tool. And with that, you can see I'm measuring from the bottom of the page up, and when I hold my mouse button down, because I'm using Smart Guides, I am getting a height of 1/2 inch reflecting that margin. I'm going to drag the text box up and use that gap guide so that I will match the 3.5 inch margin that I placed. The gap tool is a really cool tool. It's kind of fun to use it. You can use that to change spacing between page edges and objects and change gaps between adjacent objects. It's a nice tool to use. We've completed changing that one. Now we're going to go to the other page. So click on the right hand page to select it. We're going to go to Layout again, Margins and Columns, and again keep your preview on. This time we're going to change the bottom margin to 6.5 inches, and we're also going to adjust the layout at the same time. So rather than having to use the gap tool, the text box got truncated at the same time. Select OK to make the change and save your file. We are going to make a few more adjustments to the layout before we start putting items in. So let's add another text box. Pick up your text tool and just draw in a text frame box, and then we're going to have to go back to the selection tool so that we can make changes to it. Select the upper left hand corner of the proxy for your reference point. Place this at X value of a -1/8 of an inch for the bleed. The Y value is going to start at 5 1/4 inches down. The box width is 3 inches and the box height is 2.5 inches. We're also going to fill this with that gold color. If you right-click on that frame, you can open your text frame options, and in the General section, we're going to change the inset spacing to 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Unlink that and then change the left indent to, I believe that's 5/8 of an inch, 0.625, and you can preview this so you can see that your margin is going to match the margin of the column up above it. On the right hand page, you're going to create another text box. Again, you can just draw that in, pick up your selection tool so that we get the text frame options in the property panel. You're going to set the X position to 8.375, the Y position to 6 1/4, the width 2 1/8, and the height to 1.5 inches. Again, we're going to select right click and bring up our text frame options. We're going to align to the bottom for the vertical justification, and our inset spacing should be linked so that we can put 1/8 of an inch all around. Select your primary text frame on the left page of the spread. You know that this is a primary. It's got this little icon in here that has a page in it. Select the color filled frame at the bottom of the page, and it's got a slightly different looking icon. We are going to add this frame so that the text will automatically flow to this frame. If you select the primary text frame, you'll see that there is an output on that. We're going to select it and then click inside the tinted text box so that the text will flow to there. We're going to go up to View, Extras, and show your text threads so you can see how everything flows. We're going to also link this box to this box. After you check that you can see where all of those boxes are linked, you can go back to View and hide the text threads because they just kind of get in the way.